This is not an urban legend, and it is not one of those internet ghost stories people make up for clicks, because for nearly 30 years, police departments across America quietly received reports about something far stranger. People claimed they were being followed, not by a stranger, but by themselves. Not a person who looked similar, not a sibling, not a twin, an exact copy. Same face, same clothes, same voice, standing in places they should not be, watching from a distance. And according to leaked reports, the government had a name for these sightings. They called them relational echoes. The first known case happened in 1978 in rural Montana. A woman named Helen Morris called police in tears, saying someone had been standing outside her kitchen window for over an hour. When officers arrived, they searched the yard. No footprints, no signs of entry, nothing. But Helen refused to calm down, because she said the person outside the glass wasn't a man. It was her husband. The problem, her husband was sitting in the living room the entire time. Police dismissed it as stress, until 2 weeks later, Helen's husband disappeared while driving home from work. His truck was found parked on the roadside, engine still running, door open, and scratched into the fogged windshield from the inside were 4 words. It looked like me. At first, newspapers ignored the case, just another missing person. But then reports began appearing in other states, Colorado, Pennsylvania, Florida, different families, different backgrounds. But every witness described the same impossible thing, seeing someone they loved, standing silently in places they shouldn't be. A wife would see her husband at the end of a supermarket aisle, only to get a phone call seconds later proving he was still at work. Children cried after seeing their mother standing motionless in the hallway at night, while the real mother was asleep beside them. One teenager in Ohio swore he saw himself sitting on the roof of his neighbor's house, staring down at him without blinking. Most reports were laughed off. Mass panic, sleep paralysis, hallucinations. But police archives show something disturbing. Many of those witnesses vanished within 6 months, and before disappearing, almost all of them told someone the same sentence. It keeps getting closer. In 1989, an internal memo from a federal behavioral research unit was leaked anonymously. The file was heavily censored, entire paragraphs blacked out, but one phrase appeared again and again. Subject exhibits severe relational duplication exposure. The memo warned local law enforcement not to discuss sightings publicly. It instructed officers to label all incidents as domestic stress episodes. And in one section, agents were told never to allow witnesses to remain alone after the third visual contact. No explanation was given for what happened after the third sighting, but there was one attached photograph. A blurry image taken from a motel security camera in Arizona. In the photo, a man is seen entering room 214 at the exact same second. The same man is visible inside the room, staring through the curtain. Investigators confiscated the tape. The motel shut down 3 months later after 2 guests disappeared. No bodies were found, only their luggage, still unpacked, as if they had planned to stay. This should have ended there, a strange collection of unsolved sightings. But in 1996, a retired dispatcher from Illinois released copies of emergency calls she had secretly recorded over the years. 7 of those calls were nearly identical. Terrified people, whispering the same thing. "There's someone in my yard." Then shaking breaths. "It's me." One caller began screaming that the figure was copying every movement she made. When she stepped back, it stepped back. When she waved, it waved. When she turned off the porch light for 3 seconds and turned it back on, the thing was suddenly on the porch. The line disconnected. Police arrived 11 minutes later. Front door open, TV on, dinner still warm. No sign of forced entry. No sign of the caller. Only muddy footprints leading into the house, and none leading out. Those tapes were seized within days, The dispatcher said two men in gray suits took everything from her apartment, including cassettes she never mentioned publicly. She told reporters one sentence before refusing all interviews forever. They knew which calls I kept. Researchers who later studied the surviving witness statements noticed a terrifying pattern. The copies never attacked, never spoke first, never ran. They only watched, always at a distance, in the beginning, across a parking lot, behind a fence, at the far end of a hallway. But with each new sighting, the distance became smaller, across the street, outside the bedroom door, reflected behind them in dark mirrors, until eventually witnesses reported the final stage, face to face, usually at night, usually in silence. And every witness who described that last encounter mentioned one detail that still makes investigators uneasy. The duplicate was never perfectly synchronized. Its smile always came 2 seconds too late. Today, officials deny the existence of any relational echo program. No agency admits those memos were real. Most police files tied to duplicate sightings have vanished from public record. But people still post stories online, short videos deleted within hours, photos blurred beyond recognition, 911 transcripts that disappear from forums overnight, and every few months, somewhere in the country, another person reports seeing themselves standing somewhere they should not be, just watching, not moving, not blinking, getting a little closer each time. So if one night you wake up, and for a split second you think you see yourself standing in the doorway, do not stare too long, because according to the witnesses who were never seen again, the moment it knows you recognize it, it stops pretending to be far away.